Good afternoon and welcome inside Platt Arena, where the Huntington University Lady Foresters are going to be taking on the 23rd ranked Indiana Wesleyan University Lady Wildcats. I'm Logan Hunt, and my counterpart with me today is going to be Bray Snyder. And Bray, we have a doubleheader for you. Coming up, the girls play right here, coming up in about 5 minutes or so. The guys going to be playing at the conclusion of this game, and what should be two exciting matchups with the crosstown rival down Highway 24.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got two teams both sitting at 2-0 in conference. Going to be a good matchup today. We got on the sidelines a former player of IWU, going to be coaching against IWU for her first time. We got some interesting stuff coming up today, Logan.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff, and I'm glad you brought that up. Chelsea Winter for HU, a grad assistant, played on this exact Indiana Wesleyan team last year. Senior year, she poured in 18 points in the first meeting, 17 in the second. I got to think maybe the Forces have possibly a slight advantage with her on that sideline with Coach Culler.
Exactly. I mean, you know they're going to have a few set pieces that she'll be able to coach against. But, yeah, it was decent last year. You had the first matchup in overtime. Indiana Wesleyan won. Foresters came back and won the second by a point. And then, of course, we remember in that conference tourney, Foresters took the cake pretty easily. But a different matchup. We talk about having a few seniors from last year, obviously not on the squad for the Foresters. Same, of course, for the Wildcats. So it'll be interesting to see who steps up today, Logan.
Yeah, and obviously for the Foresters, defense has been the name of their game so far. We've seen them ranked in the top 10 in a lot of defensive categories. A lot of that anchored by some of that leadership. Coach Culler, we know, talked about that earlier, about how much they've really worked on defense with the loss of scoring from those seniors from last year.
Yeah, and you've had girls stepping up, and we've been averaging around 10 steals a game. Assist-to-turnover ratio has been pretty good for the Foresters. And you're talking about Brooke Saylor, Sarah Fryman stepping up, and Sarah Fryman averaging just around 16 points per game right now. Doing a lot better than she did last year, and she's really started carrying the team just as a sophomore.
Yeah, obviously we see her taking a lot of those shots inside the paint. Her and Brooke Saylor both work really well on the block together. That's a new dynamic that the Foresters have really kind of worked on. Brooke Saylor, mentioned her name, had 21 rebounds just in the last game.
She had a game. She had a field day, but also assist-wise. I mean, she's been dishing almost anybody else. She's actually third in assists right now. You got Reeker, of course, with 36, but Saylor with 24. I mean, if you're talking about a big inside throwing the ball to Fryman, I'll take 24 assists on a season so far.
Yeah, obviously a lot of inside-out action working there for obviously the Lady Foresters. And when you look at the Lady Wildcats, well, ranked 23rd in the nation, a really good record of the name, 8-2, already 2-0 in conference. The Lady Wildcats, some of the Foresters really can't take lightly, and this is a big game for Crossroads League standings-wise.
Yeah, and it's really going to be telling today who wins this first home matchup for the Foresters, because this is one of those early season tests the Foresters are going to have. We've had a few games where it's been close going, but they have pulled out the two first conference wins. If they can get this third one, especially for Coach Kohler and this squad that she's had working so far, it'll be a great boost starting off conference play.
I'll say both teams are coming off a little bit of streaks of their own. The Foresters, we know, are on an 8-game win streak. The only loss coming earlier in the season. First game of the year, the Olivet Nazarene. Wildcats looking on about a 7-game win streak of their own. Yeah. So obviously both teams feeling it right now heading into this first round of Crossroads League play. We know they have to see each other twice, like you mentioned. The first matchup always really pivotal to see if you can get out there and get that lead going into later on in the season come January or February.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting ready to go, but I know these girls are ready to go. We got two squads, the high-powered offenses, got even better defenses, assist the ball well. It'll be a fun matchup today.
Definitely going to be a fun matchup. We're going to have it here, right here inside Platt Arena. I'm Logan Hunt. As long as we have Bray Snyder, FDN Sports, we'll be right back.
When a family has to make one of the biggest decisions of their lives, they need more than a realtor.
I need a house.
They need an extraordinary team of experts working day in and day out to provide service and knowledge to get the job done right. Anything short of intensity, passion, and drive is unacceptable. Introducing the Ness Brothers, an unstoppable force of realtors here to turn the biggest decision of your life into a walk in the park.
In 5, 4, 3, 2,
1 for the music.
Hello and welcome to FDN News. I'm Kelsey Cruz.
Hi everyone and welcome down to Forest Glen Park. I'm Logan Hunt.
Hello, it's Hannah here on Forester Radio 105.5 FM, WQHU. That was just Brother with Need to Breathe, and up next we have Hillsong with Touch the Sky.
Once the floodwaters go down for
This program, I felt like really prepared me well for what it would be like to be in the news industry.
From yesterday to today, the water has certainly risen and spread.
You become a one-man band by the time you graduate, which that's something that people are looking for. People who can shoot, write, and edit all their own stuff.
I was definitely blessed enough to come in and I started calling games right away as a play-by-play announcer.
Longley tipped. Down and in, and the Foresters taking the second set. Mateo with a nice cutback. She'll take the hit left foot. That's in! Takes the three. That's good!
Through FDN Sports, it's really going to feel like a professional setting. I'm looking to really just take it to the next level, really just upgrade this FDN Sports and let people know that, FDN Sports is here to stay. We're here to battle with everyone.
With radio, students definitely thrive here just because we are hands-on right away. I have a little weekend weather update for you here. Friday, it looks like it's going to be absolutely beautiful, a high of 72. I think radio and podcasting is a great way to have other people's stories shared, whether that be their testimonies or me just having the chance to talk to people and be able to pour into them in some sort of way.
In the past couple of years, we have taken huge strides. We also do live shots, we're doing more news packages, doing more stories that affect the community. With all the politics going on recently, we've been able to do stories about that.
More a lifetime asset than an education.
And God bless you.
And I will let my future take care of itself.
And vote for Donald Trump.
Hey, keep it locked right here on Forester Radio 105.5 FM.
We're back inside Platt Arena, trying to get ourselves ready for a tip-off. Coming your way with the 23rd ranked Lady Wildcats and the Huntington University Lady Foresters. I'm Logan Hunt. Along with me, I have Bray Snyder. Let's take a look at some of the starting lineups now for the Lady Wildcats. Obviously, in the backcourt for Indiana Wesleyan, you're going to have Brittany Washington starting on that back line, Anna Imhoff, as well as Carly Lang, Nicole Ignashik in there. Couple really good backcourt players for Indiana Wesleyan, and up front, just a lot of size that the Foresters are going to have to really be prepared for.
Yeah, there's a lot that we dealt with last season. It was the same sort of thing. You got the full court press that's able to work whenever they get down in late game situations, and then they're able to put in work. But more than that, their inside game's pretty much as strong as the Foresters.
And for the Foresters, it's like Coach Culler electing to stick with her regular starting five on the year with Maddie Reeker, Erin Moore, Sarah Fryman, Haley Creewold, and Brooke Saylor. Haley Creewold, the lone senior in that starting lineup. When we mentioned the work of Fryman and Saylor up in the front court, going to have their hands full. Really going to have to stay out of foul trouble if you're the Foresters with the Wildcats. You know how they really like working it inside. Foresters going to have to play a very strong game here to beat the visiting Wildcats.
Well, and this is also Ethan Whaley's first season as coach for the Wildcats. Coach Lori Kohler in her 32nd for the Foresters. She's been coaching basketball for a while. I know this is going to be interesting to tail because both squads very good coaches on both sides as well. You're talking about Lincoln Riley for the Sooners. I'll just throw that in there. First-year coach, he's doing well. We know that Whaley's doing well right now for the Wildcats as well.
Once again, we'd like to remind you, with the conclusion of this game, we're going to have the Wildcats and the Foresters on the men's side squaring off. Starting to get a nice crowd filling in behind us in this afternoon matchup. Going to be Saylor and Ignashik on the jump. And Foresters going to win. Creewold out with it to start. Man-to-man set from the Wildcats. Fryman with it, far side, driving on Lang, going baseline into the corner now to Creewold. She'll take it in, try to use the glass, no good. Rebound, Washington. Key with it on the near wing. Hand off to Washington. Once again, Foresters sitting into man-to-man set. Washington driving, throws it, going cross court, but hits off the rim.
I can't say I've seen that many times before, Logan, man.
Say a quick turnover. Yeah. Creewold coming quickly the other way, out to Fryman, pump fake, driving inside, trying to find a cutting Moore. Gonna go all the way back to half court. Foresters resetting the offense, 15 on the shot clock. Fryman, far side three, good for the first points of the game.
You saw her feet were staggered too. She was just in that rhythm. She jumped up quick and got that shot up. It's good stuff from her.
Quick 3-0 for Huntington. Cross court now, Washington in the corner, looking up top, Imhoff, more on her. Key now finding Lang, driving, cut off. 10 on the shot clock, Imhoff, top of the key. The wing to Washington, step inside, elbow J, good, over the top of Rieker.
And that's a good move, just to get one step inside and pull up quick. That change of pace, and we know Matt Rieker's got the same stuff going on the other side of the ball.
And Washington gonna have the first 2 points for the Wildcats. Krewold up top, Washington on her, looking for a pass. Fryman posting up, not gonna get it. Saylor out wide. Zed looking to Moore, up top, Maddie Rieker back with it. Krewold far side three, too hard off the glass. Rebound Key right at the free throw line.
And the Wildcats wasting no time getting up the floor on the other end. They're pushing transition quick off those rebounds.
That's gonna be, looks like a turnover off of Ignashik's knee. Krewold sliding there, getting a hand on it. So another turnover for the Wildcats. Been a little sloppy to start.
Well, and I say the Foresters too look like they're sort of forcing up shots right now. I mean, Fryman's shot was a good shot, but we've seen Krewold with two just looking a little uncomfortable. She's a great scorer, settles down and plays within herself. She'll do well today.
Two teams that pride themselves on defense, and we're seeing it so far in the first quarter. Fryman dribbles into some traffic, goes to the ground, and looks like gonna see a jump ball called. And that will favor the Wildcats.
Looks like ball was tied up with her feet too. I mean, that's not something you usually see. Although driving inside, if I'm Fryman, I'm looking to kick that out. You mentioned driving into three, pulling up, find someone at the top of that key, and you got Rieker open.
Imhoff out on the wing, looking inside for Ignashik. Not gonna throw it though, Washington back with it. Now to Lang, baseline J, good for her. And the Wildcats now with the 1 point advantage with 7:30 to play in the first quarter.
That's good stuff from the Wildcats. You saw her just catch the ball, come right back off of that short corner and wide open on the baseline.
That's something I expect to see from the Wildcats a lot more with some of those guards playing off out on the perimeter as well. As we'll see Fryman going free throw line, step back, looking inside for Saylor, turnover, Imhoff comes up with it. Washington at the free throw line, drives right side, looking out wide for Imhoff, nearly threw it away.
You see how far Rieker's playing off too. I know Coach Kohler's been telling her the Washington does not shoot from three very much. Let her stay outside to herself.
Rieker trying to move quickly, trying to look for Krewold. Couldn't find her. Is now, let's see the motion set from the Foresters. Fryman trying to find Saylor. Ignashik doing a good job inside. 10 on the shot clock. Rieker screen from Saylor. Handoff. Out wide, Moore. Step back, gets it blocked. Saylor still with it. Fires one up and banks it in for two.
I don't know that she's trying to do that by the smile on her face, but it gets a drop. I mean, we'll take that.
Foresters back with the 1 point advantage, 6 to play. Key outside for three. Too hard off the back iron. Moore with the board. Rieker moving quickly up for Krewold. Krewold has a lane, takes it inside, and a blocking foul going to be called on Washington. And that will send Haley Krewold to the line to shoot two.
That's just a good job pushing transition by Rieker, getting the ball up on the right side. Krewold thought about it for a second, but good job pushing that lane. But on the same side of the ball, Ignashik is doing a great job down low, battling with Saylor on the inside. You've seen Fryman try to target her a few times. There's good defense keeping that ball out of the paint.
And Krewold able to convert on the first. I think this one, every point's gonna matter. Very tight already to start, 6-4. Second one gonna be good as well from the senior. I mentioned a nice look from Maddie Rieker, looking to push that tempo off of the missed shot, finding Krewold.
Well, every time that you see her push transition, she's sort of trying to do the Mike Bush thing where you're just keeping your eyes up the floor, trying to get down the court quick.
Missed shot there from Imhoff. Krewold again with the rebound. She'll drive inside, back outside to Rieker on the wing, crossover. Has some space, step back, looks to Saylor on the low block. nearly travels out to Creewold for 3, and that's good.
That's a great pass off Sailor. We mentioned inside, finally gets the ball. What does she do? Looks right back outside when Ignatic plays good defense. Another 3 points for the Foresters.
The inside-out game working for the Foresters. 10-4, Huntington with the lead right at the halfway point in the first quarter. Up top, Key, wide open 3, and she'll make you pay.
Yeah, Key's a good shooter. She did the same thing last year as a sophomore, but you got to have a hand up in her face. Washington's somebody you can leave open on the perimeter, not Key.
You saw Creewold get hung up there trying to help down low at Ignatic, and Wildcats making them pay. Sailor, baseline, and the corner to Reeker. She'll try her bet, and that's good again from the Foresters, lighting it up from outside.
We're talking about Sailor already has 2 assists as well off that inside-out game that we're talking about.
Back to a 6-point advantage now for the Lady Foresters. Washington, screen right side, looking up top, Imhoff. Back to Washington, Ignatic pleading for it inside. Nice backdoor cut there from Lang, swatted by Sailor, and a late foul called. Let's say Brooke Sailor got her there in the back. That will send the 6'1" sophomore from Union, Kentucky, Carly Lang, to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, you just saw there, good rotation. You see Reeker's trying to sit inside and just keep Ignatic from getting the ball. You've got her basically fronting Ignatic, and then on the backside, Sailor playing good defense, but that backdoor cut just wide open.
Janae Goodwin, as well as Michaela Martini in for the first time. You'll see Washington and Ignatic take a quick breather for the Wildcats. Far side, Fryman driving towards the paint. Pulls it back out. Creewold top the key, pump fake. She'll roll right side. Gets caught down low. Down the wing to Reeker. Gets a step on Key. Back out Sailor, mid-range J. Gonna leave it a little short. Rebound, Goodwin. Goodwin up to Key. Getting up the floor, trying to use the glass. Not there. Sailor with the rebound. 13-9, Foresters with the lead. Creewold, screen from Sailor, far side. Directing traffic, now she picks up her dribble. 10 to shoot, out to Reeker. She'll fire the 3, too hard. Rebound, Goodwin again. And Wildcats pushing the tempo, looking in the corner to Key and threw it away.
Yeah, it's just not the pass the Goodwin's looking for. I mean, the thought's there. You get her at that corner 3, and that's a quick shot.
And already Washington and Groninger now into the game. So we'll see Lang and Key go to the bench, as well as the freshman sensation for Huntington, Sam Hamill, coming in for Aaron Moore.
And that'll be a good matchup to watch as well. You've got Imhoff back in the game going up against Hamill.
And you mentioned in the pregame, all the steals the Foresters were able to force. That comes a lot from Hamill and Creewold.
Yeah.
Backdoor, Reeker looking for Hamill, going up top to Fryman. Fryman finds a lane inside, lefty layup, rolls in.
Nice little spin off that from her. You saw Reeker right behind her, so we're calling for ball. Fryman just turns that corner. Defense a little confused.
Goodwin left open for 3. She'll take it and hit.
That's what you can see early. The Foresters' buckets really coming off of defended shots for the most part, and then you see the Wildcats, most of their 3 games just coming off of hand-down, man-down situations.
3-point advantage for Huntington. Behind the back there from Reeker. She'll look up top now to Sailor, goes to the ground, gets it out to Hamill just in time. Back far side to Reeker, screen from Hamill. 7 to shoot, Reeker finding Sailor baseline. Has a hole, takes it in. Wild shot there, gonna miss everything. Washington moving the other way, driving inside, out to Goodwin, wide open for 3. And we're tied at 15, under 2 to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, and if you're the Foresters right now, you got to recognize Goodwin's now hit 3 threes. You got to get out and you got to get a hand up in that face. Anytime you leave her open, she's knocking it down.
Been a good spark off the bench for the Wildcats. Creewold driving inside, back out to Hamill, crossover. Looking for Creewold in the corner, she'll fire, too hard. Hamill trying to keep it alive. And gonna be Wildcats ball on the far side. See Sydney Neatgroin coming in, as well as Brooke Yoder for Krewold and Saylor. As well as we'll see Ignacia coming back in for now Imhoff. So on the floor for the Foresters is Neatgroin, Hamill, Reeker, Yoder, and Fryman. Groninger, top of the key, Martini. And gonna be a foul away from the ball. This one gonna be on Cindy. Kind of a little too physical in the post with Ignacic. Only the team's second foul of this quarter, her first. 1:17 to play. Ignacic off the inbound inside, missing everything. As now Reeker has it the other way for the Foresters.
I mean, you can see on that inbound, just right back to that play. Easy cut. Foresters got to be careful inside. Easy buckets like that can come back to haunt them later.
Yoder out wide now to Reeker, wide open for three, and again she hits.
What a good move from Yoder, though, pulling that ball back, sending two Wildcats to the ground. Got Reeker back on the outside.
A veteran move there. 45 seconds on the clock. Washington pulls up just inside the three-point line. And an offensive rebound from Ignacic. She'll get it again and work on her own miss. 18-17. Foresters with the 1 point advantage and about 3 second differential between shot clock and game clock. Hamill to Cindy. Cindy looking out wide for Reeker. A little late. Goodwin with the steal going all the way right in on Yoder. Collision, no call. Hamill with it off the rebound. 10 to play. Hamill drives inside. Back out to Fryman. Extra pass to Yoder. Finds Reeker. Pump fake top of the key. Out to Yoder. Wing three. Too hard off the far side. Fryman with it. One to shoot. Doesn't know it. And that's how the first quarter will come to a close. An exciting one that started off a little slow. And three started to fly. 18-17. Foresters with the lead over the visiting Wildcats. When we return from Platt Arena, more Forester basketball action right here from FDN Sports.
When I set foot on Huntington's campus for the first time, I just knew that this was the place I was supposed to be, and that decision forever changed my life. I was a new Christian at the time, but I grew so much while I was at Huntington. I felt known and I felt valued there, and the education department was just so great. In fact, I found a job before I even graduated, and I believe that's because my classes at Huntington equipped me to do so. I'm fulfilling my goal of serving others through teaching, and because of Huntington's impact on me, I now have that desire to pass on those values to all my students.
In high school, my life felt empty in a way. I was living in a world full of temptations and distractions, and I needed to be transformed, I guess you could say. Here at Huntington, there are many ways that I experienced that transformation. As a film major, I feel encouraged by my friends, upperclassmen, and by my professors. Other students and staff are willing to pass on their knowledge, and that inspires me to do the same towards others. My ultimate goal in life is to become a filmmaker who gives back.
We're back live inside Platt Arena. Foresters with the 1 point advantage as we start the second quarter of action. And what was an exciting first quarter, really, with the plethora of three balls.
Yeah, well, and a lot of it, Logan's just open three balls from both sides. Not even really off of set pieces. You see offensively the Wildcats doing a great job sticking to the outside of the perimeter, getting shots up uncontested. Talk about Janae Goodwin knocking them down from deep.
And a sophomore from Vincennes, Indiana. Extended D here from the Wildcats. Reeker, handoff Fryman. She'll look baseline, gets it poked away from behind by Washington. Ends up in the hands of Yoder. Really an extended man-to-man defense from the Wildcats, being very physical. So we'll see a foul called on the drive. Foul on Groninger. That's her first, team second. Now we'll prompt Coach Culler going to her bench. We'll see Morton and Saylor coming in for Neatgroin and Fryman. Let's have just a little bit of a clock issue now. Actually, I hadn't reset the fouls for the quarter. So now things to be squared away. 9:35 to go in the first half. Reeker with the crossover, looking inside for Saylor. Ball on the ground. They're going to stay with the Foresters. Going to say it went off Ignacic.
I mean, that's close. If you're Reeker, that's a solid move getting back inside, but you put the ball on the ground in that situation, I'd say maybe go up with that left hand or try to split the ball back out. Forster's passing, I'd say, is just a little slow to start off, not finding the gaps as well as they can.
See the officials meeting here, possibly looking to change the call. And looks like they're going to look now at the shot clock as well. They have 29 here inside Platte Arena, 29 on the shot clock right now.
Do we know where the replay was or the shot clock was before we reset? Would that be put on play-by-play? There was a foul at 9:38. Yeah, well, I'm talking shot.
I'm still trying to figure out exactly what the time issue was. We have 9:32 on the clock and 29 on the shot clock.
Yeah, the question is just whether or not the shot clock should have been reset. You saw maybe no change of possession there. Shot clock shouldn't have reset, so they're trying to figure that out. But, of course, that quick reset, not really sure where it was.
Well, I believe you could take it just from the last foul that occurred when they came off the inbound. And just subtract that as we might see that from the officials. But right now we still see 29 on the shot clock. Once again, the Forcers, though, with the 1-point advantage as we're trying to get this sorted out. And so far in that first quarter, Bray, we mentioned just a lot of open threes from both sides. We saw Reeker taking a couple threes. Krewold wasn't scared at all to let it fly.
Well, yeah, just a big part of the game right now is inside out for the Foresters. It worked at the very beginning, but a lot of it was open threes on the outside for them as well. Starting to force a little bit inside right now, slowing down offensively.
Well, 19 got put on the shot clock as we get back to the action. Hamill with the spin move out to Morton, thought about shooting. Reeker back with it up top. Forced getting to the set. Hamill asks for the screen, rolls right side. Harassed by Washington, throws it up, nearly rolls in. Strong rebound there from Groninger. She moved quickly up court to Goodwin, who will wisely pull it back out. Again, Washington finds a hole right side, out to Goodwin for three. A little far off to the right. Rebound from Brooke Saylor as Reeker looking to push again quickly up to Hamill. She'll pick her dribble up, needs some help.
She gotta get rid of that ball, about to get a 5-second call.
And just is. Reeker tiptoeing baseline, looking for Saylor. Up top, Yoder. And really strong defense here from the Wildcats. Under 10 to shoot. Inside, looking for Saylor. Nashik jumping her in to cut it off. Washington going to be called for the carry and right in front of everyone there. Easy call for the official.
Yeah, I mean, that ball just got away from her. She had the ability to just go downhill with the ball quick. She had Goodwin on the right side, and Goodwin's only missed 1 3 today so far. Talk about the shooting, though, for the Wildcats. I mean, you've got Katie Key. She's shooting 43% on the season right now.
Well, this is a lot how the first quarter started out. Lack of scoring. Both teams came out playing some strong defense. Then the floodgates opened. So we'll see if either team can get some points on the board here in the second quarter. Played about 2 minutes. Morton for three, and right on cue.
I think she heard you. And that's just a good shot, though. We talk about spacing outside. Foresters are able to hit from deep, and so are the Wildcats, but you've got to get the ball to the outside in rhythm.
Again, up top, Goodwin with it. This time, Krewold on her. 15 to shoot for the Wildcats. Cross-court pass now, Martine to Washington. Corner three. Airball that one. Saylor running out, getting the rebound. Forces still with that 4-point lead. Hamill on the near wing. Goodwin on her. Clear out now for Sam Hamill. Gonna have to do something. A 5-second call. Hamill waited just a bit too long on the play.
When you got to be aware of that as a point guard, every single time that you stop moving and you got a girl in your face, especially with the defense the Wildcats are playing today, phenomenal defense to start out the first half. You just got to be aware of that. You got 5 seconds with the ball, 5 seconds on the dribble, 5 picking it up again.
Well, a collective substitution here for the Wildcats. We'll put Lang, Goodwin, Key, Ignacic, and Imhoff all on the floor. On the floor for the Foresters, it's Krewold, Hamill, Saylor, Morton, and Reeker. Goodwin, top of the key, Imhoff 3, around and out. Saylor again, another rebound. Quickly the other way, Hamill going behind the back, spinning inside, finds Saylor wide open for 2.
Phenomenal passing and work inside. That's what we saw so far in the season. That's part of that 8-game win streak for the Foresters. They are able to get the ball in so well.
Wildcats gonna need an answer now. 6-point lead for the Foresters. Inside steal, Saylor, Morton working, but Agnostic ends up with it. Looked like Saylor and Morton just battling a little too hard with themselves, had the ball and just lost it.
Well, that's why you got to communicate, but Agnostic just a great job recognizing that, grabbing the ball, picking it up, and an easy bucket for her there.
Creewood at the 3-point line, backdoor cut there to Hamill, reverse layup blocked inside by Agnostic, and gonna stay with the Foresters. And once again, a nice defensive front on the inside there from the Wildcats.
Well, I mean, if you're Hamill, that's a great cut, good backdoor find from the top of the key, but you got to recognize you got Agnostic right behind you. She's going to get up and she's going to get that ball.
Creewood needs some help here. Throws it up to Reeker, 5 to shoot. Asking for the screen. Step back 3, too hard. Rebound Agnostic.
Well, the 3 was in rhythm for her, but you're stepping back into that shot. You're rushing your shot just a little bit. You got to slow it down to get a better shot on the rim.
Key finds Agnostic inside, draws the double team. Layup good off the glass.
I mean, if you're the Foresters, you've got Saylor and Morton, monster fronting and monster backing. You spin off with that left hand, Agnostic gets it to drop. That is a deadly inside game for the Wildcats.
Well, we said IWU needed to answer, and they have. It's a 2-point lead for Huntington. Saylor gets it blocked inside by Agnostic. 5:30 to play. Key examining the floor. Gonna go to Imhoff. It's now things slow down for the Wildcats getting into their half-court set. 15 on the shot clock. Imhoff top of the key, inside Agnostic. And that left hand good off the glass over Brooke Saylor. And we're tied at 23 at the midway point.
Well, Agnostic has really lit it up so far in the first half. She's just done a great job inside, finding the ball wherever it's at. If the ball's inside, if it's outside, she's going and grabbing that ball and putting it in the bucket.
Creewood, like in tight quarters, ball on the ground. Creewood comes back up with it. Saylor with it. Out to Hamill, 10 to shoot. Behind the back, in the corner, Casey Morton for 3. And the saving grace for the Foresters there.
Well, what hustle by Creewood there. Losing the ball, gets right back up with it. Ball back up to Saylor, and you see a great find to Morton on the far side. Foresters communication starting to pick back up, and then you see the scoring start pick back up with it.
The hustle on the floor there from Creewood, paying dividends. Lang going to Goodwin inside. Screen from Lang now. Prompts the switch from the Foresters. Key finds some space inside. Floater off the mark. Rebound, Brooke Saylor.
Foresters, you're going to see him slow it down here, but I think part of the reason that Coach Kohler wants that is you see as the Foresters speed up, they're not able to really hit inside very well. When they get that half-court set, you're finding Saylor, Morton on the outside.
Morton feeling it. Step back, long 2 from her. We saw Goodwin come off the bench for Indiana Wesleyan, and Morton gonna answer off the bench for the Foresters.
She's answering right back, and she's doing it with confidence. You saw her there, not even using that screen. She's popping right back out, ball up in the air.
You know, she's a very good shooter, has shown it this season. And now a foul on the inside. Gonna be called, it looks like, on Brooke Saylor. And a little too aggressive with Agnostic on the low block.
Well, yeah, you're battling right now. I mean, you have to. She's doing so well on the inside. She's getting off the glass well. She's finishing super well, and what are you going to do if you're the Foresters? You got to put a little pressure on that.
Saylor going to come out, Fryman in. Agnostic as well, going to take a seat. Idujwa now in for Indiana Wesleyan. And she gets a block from behind by Morton. Creewood comes up with it. And the Foresters answering with a little run of their own. Fryman picks up her dribble out to Sam Hamill. Hamill spinning, needs some help, finds Reeker, back door, missing the layup. Ball on the ground, Reeker going to the ground, Creewood on it, and this should be a jump ball.
What about the hustle from both teams? You see I believe that's Katie Key on top of the pile. You see 4 girls sliding for that. I can't name a game in recent memory, Logan, here in Platte Arena where we've seen 4 bodies on the ground on ball. You usually get 1 or 2 girls, but everybody hitting the deck.
Well, that's what the Crossroads League is all about. Seeing it firsthand with these 2 teams. Both teams well coached. You see everyone going straight to the floor, and I think Katie Key got the best of that one being on top. That's where you want to be on those piles.
We saw Rika, I mean, she lost that ball. You saw the whole team looked like that ball was probably turned over. She got all the way back into that pile, about 10 feet away.
28-23, Foresters with the lead. 2:45 to go in the first half. Emhoff inside, blocked by Casey Morton. And here comes Reeker quickly up to Hamill. Wildcats getting back. Hamill spin move, picks up her dribble. Outside Krewold for 3, and that's again gonna drop.
And you're talking about the Foresters starting to light a fire underneath themselves. Too many transition threes for the Wildcats right now, Logan.
Emhoff with it on the wing. Looking for Lang at the elbow. Finds some space, goes right at Morton. Gonna lose it out of play. And Morton, I believe, got her hand on yet another ball.
I haven't even seen her do this yet to see. I haven't seen her go off like this, but she's playing so well inside. Shouldn't be an unknown for the Wildcats, being as she scored very well last year.
Michaela Avina in for the first time today. Coming in for Reeker. Lang with the miss inside of Dudra. Getting the rebound, and now Krewold battling with Key there. And a foul going to be called. Nidudwa.
Good job, Haley.
That's going to be her first foul, team's second. Only seen 3 total fouls in this quarter. 2 minutes on the clock. Foresters 8-point advantage. We'll see the 2-3 zone coming out now from the Wildcats.
Well, if you're Coach Whaley, you got to go to it just to slow down this firepower and maybe force a little bit more inside game.
Morton finding Fryman inside. Nice pocket pass from her, and Fryman's going to be fouled.
Well, when we saw that too at the beginning of the game, Logan, those inside passes were not as, I don't know, maybe fluid as we've seen so far in the season. I haven't really seen them do such a good job, except in these past few minutes where they've just lit up those backdoor passes, especially. Remember Reeker, that one just a few minutes ago. Nice backdoor cut from her.
Fryman missing the free throws. We'll see Nashik and Washington back in the game. Dudwa and Lang checking out for Indiana Wesleyan. That last foul was on Anna Emhoff, her first. Only the team's third, with just under 2 to play in the first half. Second free throw here from Fryman. And a rattle home.
Forced shooting well tonight. I mean, they shoot around 80% on the season, but tonight they've done a very good job. And you mentioned every bucket counts, every point counts. You see those free throws, you got to get them up, knock them down.
Washington outside now. Emhoff working inside to Ignashik. Draws about every single Forester defender down there on the block with
Exactly.
her. You know where the focus point is defensively for the Foresters.
But, I mean, having as good a game as she is right now, you have to.
Especially with Brooke Saylor on the bench. Casey Morton going to be guarding the 6'1" Ignashik. 10 on the shot clock. Emhoff inside. Got it blocked, and then Ignashik getting it blocked from the weak side by Haley Krewold.
I think every girl on the floor is trying to come up with a block tonight, Logan, off that backside.
Casey Morton up top, wants it, fires, off to the right. Hamill with the offensive rebound and hitting it off the foot of Goodwin and out of play.
Can we talk a moment about that hustle from Hamill? I mean, you see her there, maybe a little push in the back, maybe gave a little bit, but she comes up with that ball, loses it, dives on the floor, throws it off of a Wildcat, gets the ball back to the Foresters.
Well, how about that? Casey Morton wanting the ball. We haven't seen that from her this season where she's asking for it herself. Does a nice job as a nice team player, but this time, until she's feeling it. A steal, though, off the inbound for the Wildcats. Goodwin going the other way. Krewold gets back. And a blocking foul going to be called on Haley Krewold.
I mean, that's a hard call for the official because you see Krewold's there. Goodwin sort of stops, though, and then Goodwin goes into her, so maybe Krewold's arms come down a little bit, and that's what the call is, the blocking foul, maybe a body, but it looked like she was pretty set.
Her first foul, only the team's second, though. It's about 1 minute to go in the second quarter. Washington, a little trouble getting it in. Able to find Goodwin. She'll pick up her dribble inside. Ignashik draws the double team. Up top, Key. Back to Emhoff in the corner. 3 from Goodwin. Gonna be good.
Right back in the face of Morton. She's trying to get some more of her own.
Now up top, Avina with it. Spinning inside, looking for Fryman. Back up top, Krewold. Krewold baseline, out to Hamill on the corner. Spinning back inside, layup, no good. Rebound, Ignashik. 15 to shoot for the Wildcats, 32-26. 8 on the clock. Clock ticking, 5 seconds to play. Washington inside, Ignashik. Fryman comes up with the steal. Krewold lets the three fly, and that heave gonna be no good. Big defensive stance there for the Foresters to end the half. 32-26. Huntington with the lead over the 23rd ranked visiting Lady Wildcats. We'll have some halftime stats for you when we return here on FDN Sports.
It's just an incredible feeling to know that you are handing these folks the keys to a life-changing house. It's not just a house. It's not just walls and windows. It's a home that they get to bring up their family in, bring up their kids in, and show their kids what it means to get out of poverty and to make a better life for themselves. My name is Casey Colmorgan. I'm the Executive Director at Huntington County Habitat for Humanity. We are a construction company. We are a mortgage company. We are a financial institution. We are advocates for families. We are a budgeting center. And on top of it, we are also a retail store. So we wear a lot of hats as an organization. Our main focus is to serve the community any way we can. And so we want to help families empower themselves and find a better life through the process of homeownership. The need is so great. And that doesn't just mean families who are homeless, but it's also families who are packing multiple families into one house or into one apartment to try to make ends meet. It's families that are living in predatory renting situations where they're spending $800–900 a month for a one-bedroom apartment. And that's just, it's not viable for people. We build one house about a year, and so it may not seem like we need a lot of help, but we need all the help that we can get, and that comes in a couple of different ways. First of all, we always need donations. If that's financial support of our programs, or if that's donations to the Restore to help us build our programs, those two things are crucial for us. But we also need volunteers. We need them in the Restore, we need them on the build site, we even need them in the office from time to time. And so getting as many people involved as possible is what's really important for us. I would imagine that we will continue to grow long term. We will continue to serve as many families as we can, and we will hope that we can build as many houses as possible to get families into appropriate housing that's clean and safe and affordable.
FDN News is our campus news station, and we are just a news station that shines Christ's light on campus and in the Huntington community, whether that be going to a presidential rally or talking about the meal plans on campus. Everything we do for the glory of God.
With news, you have such a great opportunity to go out to hear people's stories and tell their stories and to be light and to share that light. So my goal for FDN News is first and foremost that students would learn, that they would engage, they would learn a little bit about themselves, about communicating with others, refine their skills, and become expert storytellers for the kingdom of Christ. The benefit to coming to Huntington and being in the Forrester Digital Network is you get hands-on experience. So we have some freshmen coming in that week one, they are taking a camera out and they are teaming up with an upperclassman and refining their skills. So by the time you graduate, you've got 4 years of hands-on and classroom experience.
FDN is so much fun. I feel like it really is a great aspect of the school, and I'm so glad I get to be a part of it as a freshman especially. Like, it's just a great experience.
You can love working a camera and be part of FDN. You can love storytelling and be part of FDN. You can be a math student and be an FDN. Like, anybody can do it. It's a big family. We have fun together. And I just encourage, if you've ever been curious about news or what a newsroom looks like, volunteer with FDN whenever you can.
Well, that's all we have for you in this week's installment of FDN News.
The Global Initiatives degree that we're offering is seeking to equip folks who are interested in applying a ministry education to cross-cultural work. So somebody who's looking to do holistic ministry, somebody who's looking to engage in the business for transformation or business as missions model would find some equipping through our Global Initiatives degree.
Our Global Youth Ministries degree is designed to prepare people for leadership in youth ministry, quite simply anywhere in the globe. It's for men and women who are already in youth ministry or for people who are simply preparing to lead youth ministry.
One of the things I like about the pastoral leadership track is that Luke and Karen, who worked on developing it, consulted with church leaders so that people preparing for ministry leadership in the church would have the skills and the knowledge that they need.
Some of what I'd want our program to be known for is being really clear-minded about linking our own program vision with the Lord's vision for His people and for the kingdom. What we want to do is be faithful to that which He's called us to. And some of that would be that we believe that the Church of Jesus Christ is going to be well served when it's populated and led by people who have stories of being reached by Christ and are now being well formed to follow Him no matter what the cost.
The Alumni Office at Huntington University is really here to stay in touch with the alumni and graduates, as well as provide resources to them so they can reconnect. It's just really important to us that we keep in touch with them and then let them know what's going on campus as well, things that they might want to continue to stay involved with or maybe participate in an alumni gathering.
I started getting involved as an alumni board member
and we would do various projects throughout the university, throughout the year. Just being able to meet people who've graduated and to listen to their stories about the university, back then the college, and how it's grown today, it's really an honor and a privilege to be a Forester. I knew that this was going to be the university that I was going to graduate from, and I have friends here that will be lifelong.
So one of the things that's kind of fun about our department is we have regular gatherings. We call them Friday at Fairchild's house, and Dr. Mark Fairchild hosts these gatherings for our majors. We get together, I guess it's about once a month.
First I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, we're gonna go hang out at a professor's house. But for my Greek class, he offered extra credit if we would go. So I was like, it's worth it. I'll take some friends with me and try it out. And it was a ton of fun.
I think that's one thing that's kind of unique about Huntington. We really are able to joke and get to know each other outside of the classroom on a personal level. We really become friends, I think, with our students.
The experience of being able to sit in a professor's house and engage in scholarly discussion and informal discussion over something faith-based is, I think, very unique to this university.
If you look at a variety of the research regarding the top skill sets that employers are looking for, communicate.
We're back live inside Platt Arena. I'm Logan Hunt, and alongside Bray Snyder. And so far, it's been the Lady Foresters leading the Lady Wildcats 32-26 at halftime. And honestly, Bray, this game kind of got opened up late in the first quarter, where both teams just started knocking down some big shots from outside.
Yeah, it ended the first quarter at 18-17. And the first 2 minutes of that second quarter, a little quiet, but once both teams got into a rhythm of shooting outside, it was pretty much lights out from there. And that gap has really just been widened by the shooting of Casey Moore. You saw her come in, knock down some threes. 2 of 3 right now. Forrest shooting 50%. 7 for 14. I can't remember the last time I've seen a team do that. I don't know. That they've just been doing so well inside to out as well, which, sometimes you get worried, Logan, about maybe a team just shooting outside, shooting set shots, not going to get that later in the game. When the defense steps up, your legs get tired, but their shots have been on tempo. It's been fun to watch, both sides of the ball.
Yeah, it's definitely been fun to watch from both sides there. As we've seen, like I said, the Wildcats have been getting a lot of their points from the inside. I know they can shoot well from the outside, but they've really been looking at inside. The Foresters, counter-wise, have gone, played the inside-out game. Sailor, Fryman, they've done a good job of being on the block, but working it back outside to like Creewold or Reeker.
Exactly,
we're seeing that a lot. As we take a look now at some of the halftime stats between these two teams. Obviously, Bray mentioned it, both teams shooting the three ball very well, 50% for Huntington, 44% for Indiana Wesleyan. Both teams, assist-to-turnover ratio, not great.
Yeah, exactly.
Not great from both sides. But that's something that both teams pride themselves on, is the defense. So I think we've seen, obviously, with a 32-26 type game, over-under, looking for under 70 points in this matchup. Casey Moore mentioned 8 points and 3 blocks. Came in there and did some work there late in the second quarter.
Well, she's able to put in work. Not that she's not able to do that, but she's just been a little quiet on the season so far. You saw her come in. That fire was there, and that's a fire that we just saw took off. And we've seen that, Hamill coming up for the Foresters with 3 assists. She hasn't shot the ball too well tonight, but she's found people. She's gotten people open. She's communicated well. We've seen that hustle from both her and Creewold. Creewold coming up with a monster steal/block. I don't even know what you call it at the end of that first half, but you saw her she came up, grabbed that ball, and you saw Fryman's as well at the end of the half. They've just done a great job of trying to shut Agnostic down with 8 points. You might think she's a little higher than that right now. She's actually just at 8, but she is doing very well and dominating on the offensive side for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and something interesting, Goodwin and Morton, both the leading scorers for their team. Goodwin with 9, Morton with 8, both came off the bench.
Yeah.
So the starters so far, they haven't had a breakout start. It's been the excitement from the bench and what we like to call like a crosstown rivalry between these two teams. Obviously, the Foresters getting the best of the Wildcats so far, up 32-26. But something to look for the second half of play is you have to think that both teams are really going to maybe shy away from the three. We know they're shooting it well, but I think both teams really want to just focus on getting that inside game working, especially, like I said, going to Ignatic and for the Foresters going to Brooke Saylor.
Well, it's been the 2-3 zone that we saw Coach Whaley just throw out there a little bit at the end of the first half. It's that sort of thing where you can tell that 3 ball starting to drop. Maybe the Foresters are going to wane off it a little bit. They jump into that 2-3, and now you got to start trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to get the ball inside to out? Because you got to get the ball inside in the first place. So if you're just trying to shoot from outside the arc, okay, Morton stepped up, Hamill stepped up, you got to get it back there. Foresters be interested to see what they do as well.
I was saying for the Wildcats, Kelsey Key outside. She's done a nice job, as well as Janae Goodwin. Mentioned both of them doing their job from outside, forcing the Foresters to extend out there. And you mentioned at the very beginning of the broadcast, we saw how far Maddie Reeker was playing off of Washington, and that's helped front the post inside. That's the reason, like I said, Ignatic only with 8 points. We say only, but
a dominant 8 points for what it is.
Exactly, a very dominant 8 points from her on the inside, and both teams playing with that kind of 4-out-1-in style.
Well, the Foresters, especially you mentioned with Ignatic, they have had to do a very good job of making sure she doesn't get off the boards. With that height, it's hard for her to do. You know, she's one of the taller players on the squad for the Wildcats. Inside, they're doing what is called the monster front, monster back, which is where basically you drop the point guard down and you say you're sitting off your man. If she comes in and she's maybe at that 12-foot range, you got to get out on that jumper. But Washington, more of a distributing role so far, not that shooting role.
On the floor for Huntington is going to be Fryman, Reeker, Moore, Saylor, and Krewold. For the Wildcats, it's Ignatic, Washington, Imhoff, Lang, and Key, both of the starting fives. Near turnover to start for Huntington. Reeker up top, Key switched on to her. Moore works it inside to Saylor. Pass to Krewold, pulls up 3. And forget what we said at halftime. Forster sticking to the 3 ball. Haley Krewold knocking one down to start.
Well, and Haley Krewold didn't do it too well at the start of the first half, but she came out and she's going to, sometimes you come out of half cold. Not for her.
That's going to be her 3rd 3 on the day. Inside, Lang with it. Back to Key. Up top, Washington. Handoff, Lang spins inside. Cross-court pass to Key from the 3. And another answer from the Wildcats.
I think both teams trying to come out shooting the 3 ball. It's working. Why not? Why not keep going with it?
2 threes to start, just a minute in. Saylor rolls right side, blocked from behind by Ignatic.
Ignatic says not in Platte Arena here. I mean, she got a few times. Could have had maybe 12 points if she didn't get blocked twice from Casey Morton or 3 times, but that's a good move from her.
Big block there. So we'll see Maddie Reeker as the inbounder. Able to get it to Fryman. Comes around there for Reeker. 7 to shoot. Reeker going baseline, picks up her dribble. Now to Saylor, has some space inside, but blocked by Lang, and the Wildcats just turning it back over with miscommunication on the outlet.
Well, miscommunication for the Foresters, too. You saw that inbound just kind of botched. You see Moore and Reeker, so a little confusion between them there, and then all of a sudden, nothing offensively. Reeker has to try to force something inside. Saylor getting blocked with 2 girls on her.
Again, Reeker finds some room. Lefty layup good off the glass. Nice inbound play there for the Foresters.
Yeah, Reeker had 6 in the first half. She's stepping up back again. She's got to be able to cut inside and dish out from there. So it's good to see her starting off the second half.
Imhoff launches a 3, and that one's again going to find the bottom of the net. Quick answer from the Wildcats, 37-32. Played just 2 minutes in the 3rd quarter.
It must be now that we're starting the 25 days of Christmas. I mean, I don't even know why this team's coming off in the second half so hot, but they keep going with it.
Saylor with the pump fake inside, missing, get her own rebound, and going to be fouled on the ground. Saw a lot of active hands in there. Foul going to be on Ignatic. That's only her 1st foul.
Yeah, she's been very active inside, and the fact that she only has 1 foul doesn't really tell you how physical she's been inside. She's done a great job getting blocks. She's done a great job getting off the block and scoring on the inside.
Inbound to Fryman. Gonna go to that left hand. Looks like partially blocked. As Imhoff will bring it the other way. Inside a cut in Washington. Nice find, Ignacic.
What we talk about, inside she's able to score, but right there, rises up, soft top over pass.
Great find to cut it to a 1-possession game now. 37-34. Freewold gets it poked away from behind. Reeker right there to clean it up. And she'll have it poked away by Washington. That's going to stay with the Foresters.
Yeah, Washington playing some good defense. You're seeing Coach Lowell over there, talking to the ref just about those hand checks, because Washington and Key on the same thing. Reeker goes baseline, a little bit of hand check.
Inbound now to Maddie Reeker. Freewold under 10 to shoot, has it, step back 3, that's going to be off to the left. Going to go off of Moore, and rebound to the Wildcats. And Wildcats going to get into a set piece now in the half court. Laying outside, pull up mid-range, leaves it short. Offensive board from Ignacic. Shot no good, and now foul going to go the other way on Ignacic. Ran right into Maddie Reeker there.
Yeah, she did.
Pretty obvious foul.
Well, Saylor tried to get that board, and then when Ignacic grabbed it, Saylor did a good job of not fouling, but forcing her to that baseline and not giving her much backboard to work with. That forced Ignacic to be under the basket trying to get that board, which, like you mentioned, just throws her right into Reeker.
Still 37-34, 6:35 to play in the third quarter. Fryman step back, long 2, drops from her.
Well, we saw that last year from the Huntington North grad. She's able to just get right to that 12-foot, 15-foot range and knock things down from the inside the three-point line.
And a steal inside. Saylor and Reeker working together. Reeker running the fast break, looking outside to Moore. Nice recognition there from Imhoff.
Yeah, good defense, able to step up and tip that ball out of bounds. Reeker, if that's me there, I want to put the ball right back in my right hand and push on the inside, because you've got that gap. She scored well the past few possessions that she's had the ball inside.
Key making it tough to inbound. Coming up now, 15 on the shot clock. Fryman throws it over the top for Saylor. Washington recognized, comes up with the steal, pushing tempo. Gonna go coast to coast, layup good from her.
That's a strong move. You saw her grab that ball, come all the way down. Good layup from her.
Moore going baseline. And gonna get it blocked again over the top there by Lang. Full court pass to Key. And just like that, the Wildcats, I believe, should have the lead. Right now it's saying 39-38 on the scoreboard. We're going to keep it right here, though, with a quick timeout from Coach Culler. 5:34 on the clock. And the Foresters find themselves trying to keep up now with the running Wildcats.
Well, it's transition game. Foresters are not getting back, and they have the depth to be able to get back. You'd expect to see it, but that full court outlet pass, even Maddie Reeker, just how far back Katie Key was, she's able to go chase that ball down, and that's an easy bucket for her.
Yeah, an easy bucket there. And a nice recognition there again from the Wildcats. A full court pass. Foresters just couldn't get back in time, and I'm seeing a lot of blocks on the inside as well. The officials really letting both sides play. A very physical matchup, and a good one here. It's coming up on the halfway point in the third quarter. 39-38. Foresters with the 1-point lead.
Well, and talk about the physical matchup. As Goodwin comes in, she's going to put that full court pressure on Reeker, and again, just making her think a little harder every time she brings the ball back down the court.
Fryman picking up her dribble, needs help. Gets it out to Creewold. Saylor clearing out some space inside. Back into the corner to Creewold for 3. And Haley Creewold.
She's fading back into the bench on that 3.
Another 3 from her. That's her 4th for the day.
And it's good to see her start shooting. You saw her come out. Her first 2 shots she missed. Something switched in her mind, and she had that mentality trying to score every time down the floor. She's gotten it.
Miss from Imhoff, gets her own rebound though. Inside to Ignashik, draws the double, goes to the right hand, and again uses the glass. And that's just an unstoppable offense.
She had the dump down as well to the other block, but just that height, she's able to go back to her right side, finish strong off the glass. And that's with a double team on her too.
Reeker works inside. Back in the corner to Moore, looking for some space. Key all over her though. Creewood pump fake, drawing in the lane, looking for a cutting Moore. Gonna be a turnover now for Huntington. Now we'll bring Casey Morton and Sam Hamill back in for Brooke Saylor and Aaron Moore. 42-40. And a tight one into this Crossroads League action on the Saturday afternoon. Coming up on 4 minutes to play. Outside Washington, takes a step to the elbow, gonna miss the shot. Ignashik with the rebound. Gonna get tied up with Casey Morton, gonna draw a jump ball. We'll stay here with Indiana Wesleyan.
And that's another board for her, but the ball just dropped right into her arms through the forcers. Just get a body on her. If you're Casey Morton, you got to get a hand up. You're gonna be able to get that ball. Just a little bit of contact.
Imhoff with it again, looking inside for Ignashik. Key cross-court pass, looking for him. Imhoff. He'll go outside to Goodwin, dancing with Hamill. Gonna have to pick her dribble up now. Imhoff cutting back inside and gonna be fouled by, looks like Casey Morton, shooting 2. And that 4 out, 1 in now starting to work for Indiana Wesleyan in this third quarter.
Well, really, what the Foresters are doing right now is they're staying tight on that man, but whenever you've got Imhoff catching the ball on the outside, that stretches whoever's guarding her to the outsides, whether it's, Fryman, whether it's Morton, whoever's basically not on the big inside. And so as you do that, you're starting to stretch your bigs out. You're not able to rebound as well, too, which is a big part of what they were able to do in the first half.
Imhoff 1 of 2. So the Foresters still with the 1-point advantage, but in need of an answer. Freewold up top, looking down low. That goes cross side to Hamill. Pump fake, driving inside, dish off to Fryman. Easy floater inside.
And Hamill's been able to score on the season. She knows she's able to do that, but she's done a better job today, I think, than any game we've seen so far. Attacking, dishing off, and making sure the passes are getting there. Not sloppy passes, but finding the gaps.
Key right at the perimeter. Hand off to Goodwin. Back to Imhoff, long 3 from her, too hard. Creewold comes up with the flying rebound. She wants to go. And then wisely pulls it back out. See, she doesn't have number.
Well, Hamill boxed out Katie Key all the way, I think, to the 3-point line. It didn't even go for the ball. Just let Creewold come all the way in. A solid box out for her.
Reach around there from Ignashik, able to poke it away. 10 on the shot clock. Hamill with it. She'll fire a 3 off to the right. Creewold diving out of play and gonna go out on her. So we'll see a Wildcat ball.
That's great hustle from Creewold, though, able to dive on that ball. Didn't get it. Just put a little more pressure on Katie Key.
Martini coming in for Ignashik, as well as we'll see Imhoff check out. Groninger in for her. So both teams going to their bench here late in the third quarter. Ooh. Top of the key, Goodwin back with it, 15 to shoot. Washington works inside, floater no good. Rebound, Reeker saw Washington go to the ground. Hamill finds a lane, drives inside, right-handed layup no good. And now over the back, going to be called on Sarah Fryman.
Well, that's a hard call, too. Sarah Fryman was pretty much up in the air, lunging for that ball, and just the ball stopped short of her. Crashes into a body, and then that's going to be another foul on her. So the Foresters got to be careful here, enjoying that 3-point advantage.
That's going to be Fryman's first foul, team second. Under 2 to play now in the third quarter. See a full timeout from Indiana Wesleyan. We'll take it with them right here on FDN Sports. 44-41. We'll return.
If you look at a variety of the research regarding the top skill sets that employers are looking for, communication always ranks top 5. Many times it's the top 3. These are skills that are far more important, not only in job, but in life. In family context, in social context, in professional contexts.
One thing that's different about Huntington University as a Christian college is that we have a journalism major. Other Christian universities and the Council of Christian Colleges and Universities have a communication major in which you then subspecialize in these different areas. We have an actual major in journalism, an actual major in public relations.
And we're back live inside Platt Arena. Huntington with the slight 3-point advantage over the 23rd ranked visiting Lady Wildcats. I'm Logan Hunt, alongside me Bray Snyder on FDN Sports. Saw a timeout there from the Wildcats. Just under 2 to play in the third quarter. All 5 ladies out on the perimeter now for the Wildcats. And a walk going to be called here on Key.
And that's hard for Coach Whaley out of timeout. You know, you come right out of that, you probably got a set piece drawn up just for the first possession. Turn it right away. Mentioned under 2 minutes, down 3 points in the third quarter.
Hamill takes it to the elbow, picks up her dribble, out to Morton. She'll fire the 3. And again, Casey Morton gets one to drop.
She's having a field day today.
Force picking the right time to hit their shots against a ranked opponent. Goodwin out to Key. Thought about shooting. Instead of working inside, gonna be a jump ball called.
Yeah.
Freewood gets her hand on it with Washington. And we'll walk the other way. Possession error going to the Foresters.
And that was the hustle sisters right there. You got Krewald and Hamill. Both of them touched the ball. I'm not sure which one got the jump ball, but that energy's there.
Coming up on 1 minute to go. Fryman inside on Groninger. Lefty shot, leaves it short. Hamill with the offensive rebound though. Works it inside to Fryman, left side, pump fake, goes up. Shot no good. Again, Sam Hamill with the offensive rebound. Up top to Krewald, and now we'll see Huntington run an offensive set. 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. Fryman fires from the elbow. That's no good. And another rebound for the Huntington as Moore misses the putback. And finally the Wildcats get a defensive board. Long pass outside to Groninger. About 5 seconds differential between shot clock and game clock for the Wildcats. 47-41, Huntington with the lead. 10 to shoot, Washington at the free throw line. Picks up her dribble out to Groninger for 3. Blocked on the perimeter by Morton. Fryman spinning. Has 8 seconds now and a foul in the backcourt on Washington.
That's a good job. You see the Foresters are going to get clocked to stop at 6.5 seconds. They're going to have just a little bit of way to go. You know you're going to have a good shot on the bucket. 6.5 seconds. Logan, plenty of time. Probably enough for honestly 4 or 5 dribbles if you're able to just push the ball up quickly.
And that was Washington's second foul, only the team's third. Krewald with it in the backcourt, 5 to shoot, and a foul going to be called. Looks like on Goodwin. Krewald going to have to be careful with that off arm though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're entitled to an arm bar, right? But a lot of times that arm bar, anytime there's a contact, the ref has to decide, was it a push? Was it a push off? You got to decide.
3.7 seconds on the clock. Inbound right in front of us. Hamill goes to Fryman. Hand off to Hamill, 2 to shoot. And she'll lose it. Out of play to end the quarter. 47-41. And a lot of excitement brewing inside Platt Arena for the Lady Foresters. Up by 6 on the visiting Wildcats. We'll return to the fourth quarter action right here inside Platt Arena.
family has to make one of the biggest decisions of their lives. They need more than a realtor.
I need a house.
They need an extraordinary team of experts working day in and day out to provide service and knowledge to get the job done right. Anything short of intensity, passion, and drive is unacceptable. Introducing the Ness Brothers, an unstoppable force of realtors here to turn the biggest decision of your life into a walk in the park.
Back inside Platt Arena, Foresters with the lead, and we'd like to invite you guys to stay tuned. After this game, the Foresters on the men's side will be playing against the Wildcats, and what should be a good matchup as well. And I mentioned last year when Indiana Wesleyan came to town, the Foresters were able to pull off a big victory.
And that was at the end of the season, though. It was after the first matchup. Foresters, were really rolling at that time of the season, had gotten through a lot of tough games and a lot of tough losses, and that was really a bounce-back game.
We get back to the Lady Foresters, up by 6, looking to pull an upset of their own. Imhoff back in, top of the key, out to Katie Key. She'll drive right side, looking for Goodwin. Ball on the ground. Hamill gonna get on top of it, and a traveling violation looks like was gonna be called, but Indiana Wesleyan got the timeout before the travel violation occurred. So a timeout by the Wildcats, just sneaking in by Coach Wiley. Gonna be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here, playing just about 20 seconds.
I mean, that's about as close as you can get, though, right there between the timeout, the travel, the held ball. So Hamill's trying to decide whether or not, do I go for it? Do I wrap my arms around, try to give her a hug? What am I trying to do?
And I think she did a good job there of just waiting for her to come back around. If she reached around, probably would have been called for the foul. Instead, wait till she saw the ball, got her hands on it, and instead forced her in a bad situation, and even got her hands on the initial pass as well. Hamill's had a great game already with the feisty defense.
Well, Coach Lori Kohler does a great job bringing freshmen in and getting right in. We saw this with Fryman last year. Fryman came right in, starting towards the end of the season, and she was just able to put up work scoring-wise, getting rebounds, doing a great job defensively. Sort of seen the same thing from Hamill this season.
Long pass inside to Ignasic, off the inbound from Washington, and a great play for the Wildcats. See the full court pressure here from Key. A little bit of a light pressure, but letting Reeker know she's there.
Which again, all that is mentality. She's letting Reeker know she's got to work every time she comes up the floor.
Ignasic again denying the pass inside to Fryman. Using those long arms to her advantage. Still a 4-point ball game. Huntington with the lead. Washington driving, looking out to Key. 10 to shoot now. Key open for 3, she'll fire. Too hard. Bouncing twice on the rim, rebound Fryman. Again, Reeker getting into the set, out wide to Hamill. Hamill evaluating the floor. Looking cross court to Fryman, step back. Baseline, Jay, good.
And that's what you got to do inside. See, Ignatius is doing a great job on the boards offensively and defensively. You got to knock down shots. That's just a great find, too, from Hamill on that far side.
Good job being patient and seeing the whole play. Outside, Imhoff. Again, the Foresters really sending that defense out wide. Washington, though, taking the elbow. Jay, rebound, ball on the ground. Morton comes up with it, gets it to Reeker. Bodies on the floor. Foresters with numbers. Looking to Fryman. Fryman drives right side. Contact, no foul. She'll go to the ground. And here come the Wildcats. Washington finding Imhoff far side, spinning in the lane. Shot good.
That's a strong move from Imhoff, got to be honest. In transition, too. Not even a super fast spin, just a very nice, tight spin. Just right from the middle of the lane. Nice right hand from her.
Wildcats cut back into this lead. It's only 4 for Huntington. Hamill drives right side, picks up her dribble inside the lane. Going to be 3 seconds, and the line going to be called there on Hamill. Turnover for Huntington. And we'll see Creewold coming in now for her.
Well, coming out to really just get a breather. We know Coach Kohler's going to need her again. They need to keep using her. But right now, the Foresters really need to work on defensively. got to do a better job getting the first rebound. You saw last time, the ball dropped twice in the middle of the paint before they picked the ball up. Good blockouts, but you actually got to get the ball for a rebound. As hard as that may be to understand sometimes.
Imhoff inside, misses, rebound, corralled by Krewold. Far court pass to Moore. Now to Krewold, 15 on the shot clock. Top of the key, Morton. Looking inside for Fryman, gets it to her in the lane. Working on Ignacic, left-handed shot, no good. And Wildcats come quickly the other way. Key, transition three, around and out. Ignacic with the rebound. Up to Imhoff, and now Washington and the Wildcats resetting.
We talk about the offensive board, so important. You see a strong dish inside. They don't get that bucket if they don't get the offensive rebound.
49-47. Foresters with the slight advantage. 6:30 on the clock. Doesn't get much better than this in Crosswoods League play.
Exactly.
Morton, step back, taking the shot. Around and out. Krewold flying in for the offensive rebound. Goes up and is fouled.
Strong move by her. Offensive rebounds really going to win this game, Logan, from both sides. One thing that we often talk about is the offensive margin for either team. When you get your second chance points, the only way you're getting second chance points, obviously off of offensive rebounds. And second chance points, when you're in the middle of the paint, more shots you're getting up, more likely that you're going to finish offensively. Krewold getting right back to the stripe, so you should be able to knock two down.
And exactly what you need to do if you're the Foresters. Wildcats making a run, cutting into your lead, and going to have to out-hustle them at this point. Saylor now coming in for Casey Morton. Saw Coach Culler stick to Morton. A lot more minutes here late in that third quarter, early into the fourth. First time we've seen Saylor in the fourth quarter now. Long extended rest. 50-47. Krewold 1-2 at the line.
All I was going to say is that you need to have that. You need to have your rest because she's going to have a battle with Ignacic for the last 6 minutes to go here. It's not going to be an easy battle for her.
Cross-court pass to Key, looking inside for Ignacic, draws the double team. Good ball movement there for the Wildcats. Goodwin getting an open three from in. We're tied at 50.
It was just a strong job by the Wildcats offensively. Defensively, I mean, it wasn't terrible for the Foresters, but they over-rotated towards Ignacic on the strong side, leaving a shooter wide open on the weak side. You've got to cover on that opposite side.
Krewold out wide, 15 on the shot clock, ball on the ground, and she will be fouled by Washington. Gonna be a trip. That's gonna be, excuse me, looks like they put the foul on number 12. There is no number 12 here. Foul should be on Washington. They're gonna have to fix that here. Gonna be only the second team foul. So we get back to the action. Saylor taking the elbow J, coming right in and finishing.
Well, she and Ignacic going back and forth, but you got to watch on both sides of the ball. Ignacic and Saylor playing defense with their hands right now in the back. Got to be careful about it.
Imhoff, left side, has Reeker on her. In the corner now to Goodwin. Back to Imhoff inside Ignacic. Nice give and go action. Easy deuce inside. Under 5 to play in the fourth quarter. Knotted up at 52. Krewold on the baseline, now to Saylor. Saylor finds some space, up and under. Gonna be good, and one.
Up and under about 3 times.
Foul gonna be on Ignacic. And Brooke Saylor coming alive late.
I mean, that's just a strong move. Sometimes talking about putting somebody in a blender, usually offensively whenever your point guard maybe dishing around inside. Saylor just kept spinning. Eventually you're gonna get an open look.
Hamill checking in for Moore. That's gonna be Ignacic's third foul as well. And one not there. They're gonna remain a 2-point lead for Huntington. 4:30 on the clock. Washington inside the lane, out to Key, corner 3. Connects from her, and the Wildcats take the lead.
We're going to talk about distributing the ball today. Washington with 4 points. 4 points, Logan. Guess how many assists? 9. 9 assists. Doesn't need to score to help the team score.
Krewald pulls it back to the corner, missing the 3 rebound. Ignacic, under 4 to play.
You see here again, not exactly a Mike Bush style player, but Washington just does a great job holding on to the ball, finding the open outlet. And the ball's hitting the bottom of the net.
Exact same play here. Inside, Saylor goes to the ground. Ignacic able to connect for 2, and now Indiana Wesleyan up by 3, and that'll bring the Wildcat faithful to their feet with 3:35 on the clock. A big comeback here from Indiana Wesleyan. We'll take a break with them. Final minutes to come here inside Platt Arena.
When I set foot on Huntington's campus for the first time, I just knew that this was the place I was supposed to be, and that decision forever changed my life. I was a new Christian at the time, but I grew so much while I was at Huntington. I felt known and I felt valued there, and the education department was just so great. In fact, I found a job before I even graduated, and I believe that's because my classes at Huntington equipped me to do so. I'm fulfilling my goal of serving others through teaching, and because of Huntington's impact on me, I now have that desire to pass on those values to all my students.
In high school, my life felt empty in a way. I was living in a world full of temptations and distractions, and I needed to be transformed, I guess you could say. Here at Huntington, there are many ways that I experienced that transformation. As a film major, I feel encouraged by my friends, upperclassmen, and by my professors. Other students and staff are willing to pass on their knowledge, and that inspires me to do the same towards others. My ultimate goal in life.
And we're back inside Platt Arena. Foresters find themselves down by 3 with 3:35 to play in the 4th quarter. Coming out of the timeout here from Coach Culler. On the floor for Huntington, it'll be Fryman, Hamill, Krewald, Saylor, and Reeker. Ignacic, Key, Imhoff, Lang, and Goodwin on the floor for Indiana Wesleyan. Hand off to Krewald. She's looking, finds Reeker on the near side. Good defense from the Wildcats. 10 to shoot. Reeker driving right side. Back out wide to Hamill. She'll pull up from 3. Too hard. And an over the back foul going to be called on Sarah Fryman.
That's an easy call. You're coming over the back with one hand like that. I mean, it's one thing if the ball's up in the air, but that ball is short of her. She's not going to get to it. You got to be smarter than that if you're the Foresters, because the Wildcats right now are doing a good job blocking out. If you're not in position to get the ball, don't draw a foul on top of it.
First foul of this quarter for Huntington with 3 minutes to play. 3-point advantage for Indiana Wesleyan. Washington cross-court pass to Key. She'll fire from 3 again. Partially blocked by Krewald. Battle inside, jump ball going to favor Huntington. We'll see Lang checking back in for Washington now for Indiana Wesleyan. I tell you what, Haley Krewald kind of got lucky there that she got a piece of that ball with that box out on Key.
If Key's able to get that shot off and stretches it to a 2-possession game like that, harder for the Foresters to come back on it.
Fryman spinning inside, taking it herself, scoops and scores.
But I was about to say, her left hand's usually pretty strong. Got mid-range with the lefties, not been great today, but she's able to get it to drop.
Back down to a 1-point game, 2:30 to play. Goodwin, screen up top from Ignacic. Pulls it back out, looking for Imhoff. Saylor cuts off the pass. A turnover for the Wildcats. Big possession for Huntington. Has a chance to take the lead. Up to Krewald. Krewald right side. Pulls it back out. Looking for Reeker. 10 to shoot.
That's a hard moment for Maddie Reeker. The ball just hitting her foot. Goes off sideways. she doesn't even know. I mean, that's what's hard about that. I mean, that's a good cut to the left, pull the ball back out. She might have even had the 3 if she stepped back out beyond the arc.
Washington now back in for Indiana Wesleyan. Playing a little offense-defense with Lang. Washington has 4 fouls. 20 on the shot clock. Indiana Wesleyan gonna use the clock to their advantage. Gonna run a lot of time off. Forrester's gonna sit back and wait for him. 10 now on the shot clock. Key with it. And Sam Hamill gonna say she tipped the pass a little bit there. Hit it out of play. 8 on the shot clock. And we'll see Lang checking back in for Washington. 1:34 on the game clock, 8 on the shot clock. Goodwin with it, top of the key, 5 to shoot. Going right side, throws up a prayer, just taps the rim. Saylor with the rebound. She'll get it to Creewell, who'll get it past the timeline. Coming up on a minute to play. Still, Forrester's down by 1 to the visiting Lady Wildcats. Fryman looking inside to Saylor. Saylor working on Ignacic, right side, pump fake goes up, has it blocked, comes back, blocked again, but a foul gonna be called.
Well, the first time is when it looked like the foul maybe should have been called because her arms are sideways and Saylor catches a bit of the arm. Second time, goes up with one hand, catches the ball, and maybe draws the whistle. And that's what Coach Cole, you can see her right now, is talking to her about Ignacic because she's been playing good defense today, but it's kind of hard when you're like creating a roof over Saylor's head. Kind of hard to say anything about that. That's her 4th foul. If Saylor can get one more on her, imagine this game goes to overtime and you're playing without Ignacic.
Well, Ignacic and Washington, both 2 starters with 4 fouls apiece for Indiana Wesleyan, and a big free throw coming from Brooke Saylor. Extended time here on the free throw. Saylor's free throw, good for her. And we are tied at 57. 1:03 on the clock.
Well, now here's where the discipline comes in for both teams. Wildcats, clock is their friend if they can score. 3 possessions. Okay, see a timeout here, obviously.
Say both teams had 3 timeouts. Indiana Wesleyan now down to 2. And we'll keep it right here with a late timeout. 57 seconds. Gonna be a full timeout, but we're tied at 57. Obviously, we've seen Ignacic getting a lot of the attention inside, Bray. We know Key has the ability to hit from outside. Where do you think this ball might be going?
Well, this is what's going to come down to the play calling of Whaley. He's been a little ambitious with some of his inbound plays. You got the ball on the sideline right in front of the bench. This is maybe when I'm looking at one of those plays where just try to throw that cheeky little backdoor cut. You've got maybe 4 girls lined up near the block. If Ignacic just comes off to the opposite side, you can lob the ball up, and she's, with her height, going to be able to go up and grab that. On the other hand, if you're the Forresters, I'm not even thinking about doubling her down low because I would much rather have ball with maybe 1 shot clock, maybe got 2 full shot clocks left, but I would rather have ball down 2 than be down 3 deep into the shot clock. Because if you see Key, maybe Goodwin pops a 3 up, that's a lot harder to come back on the other end. Now pressure's on you to hit that outside ball.
I say Forrester is going to be planning here. You got to think the main thing in it all will be have to box out. But the Forrester's done a good job with it, but this would be a crucial time to lose to an offensive rebound. We know the Wildcats very stingy offensively, really get after it. That's why they're ranked 23rd in the nation and on a 7-game win streak. And done a nice job even battling back into this game.
Well, they were never out of it. They started off not hitting very well. The Foresters started out shooting lights out from the outside. You saw the defensive pressure increase in the second half. Foresters just have not kept up the shooting that they had in the first. Credit that a lot to the defense and coaches Whaley, 2-3 that's come in for a few seconds.
Creewell matched up with Key. Going to Ignacic on the elbow. Up top now, back to Washington. Imhoff gets the handoff. Driving inside. Down low for Ignacic. And the easy 2 there off the great set piece, but a timeout from Coach Culler. Gonna answer.
Well, we talk about inside looking for Ignacic. 3 girls drawn to Lang. If you're the Foresters, you got to do better than that. You cannot put 3 girls on Lang. Lang is a great player. Don't get me wrong. She scored well tonight, but Logan, when you're inside like that, you cannot triple team ball. Ignashik's right there behind. That's a great call from Whaley because they know the Foresters are going to have to put pressure.
Yeah, you saw Imhoff come off that screen. Rieker got caught in it. And then, like you said, brought everyone over. Ignashik slipping behind, but a nice find from her. And now the Foresters electing to move the ball, advance it up court with 43 seconds on the clock, down by 2. And this is what you mentioned. Rather be down by 2 than 3.
Exactly.
If you're Huntington, don't need a 3 here. Just look for something inside. We know Saylor and Fryman have come alive here late. But he got some really good drivers with Rieker, Creewood, and Hamlin. There's not a player on that floor that can't put the ball on the ground and get to the hoop.
Well, this is when you've got an interesting decision. When you're Coach Kohler, of course, the decision is who's going to try to score the ball here. What set do you run? But if you're Coach Whaley, I'm honestly thinking about putting in some extra bodies and fouling because the Foresters have shot pretty well in the first half. Second half, not as well. Only shot 3 free throws in the second half. You're up 2 points. You 1 foul and you're on the line with 2 free throws. Maybe I take that chance. Maybe I just play good defense because more than likely the Wildcats, if they get possession of the ball after the Foresters shoot, are going to have the final shot of the game.
Yeah, I think Indiana Wesleyan might just play this one out. Creewood inbound to Hamill. Inside. Needs some help. Goes to Saylor. Saylor with the reverse, and that drops.
I haven't seen her shoot one of those today. Went up fully confident, gets that ball to hit the back of the net, and what do you know?
Tied at 59. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. 7-second differential between shot clock and game clock. And was it a timeout called from Coach Whaley again? This one going to be a 30-second timeout.
Well, and what we got to talk about again, Coach Kohler understands that if they wait 16 seconds to shoot, the Wildcats get the final shot. What she did, tried to get Hamill cutting off, didn't get it. What'd she do? Got Saylor right back, quick bucket. Now it's tied up. If you get a rebound here, or if it's a made bucket, you have time for the final shot in Platt Arena on a Saturday with a pretty decent crowd. I'll take my chances.
And that's something there with Brooke Saylor that we saw her go right at Ignashik. No, Ignashik has those 4 fouls, had to keep those arms straight up. So nice recognition there from Coach Kohler and the ladies. Now going to have to really buckle down and play some defense. And you got to think, same thing here for the Wildcats. Going to be looking to work it inside to Ignashik or possibly Imhoff. We know have been hot.
Well, because if you can draw a foul somehow, you get the shot clock back and you get to end the game on a shot. So you want to be very careful with the Foresters. It's kind of how do you play Ignashik because it's kind of like you have to be physical, but you know the refs are going to be looking for that physicality, probably drawing the whistle. So it's going to be interesting to see how this possession plays out for the Wildcats.
Once again, about a 7-second differential between shot clock and game clock. 1 timeout remains for Indiana Wesleyan if they get in trouble.
It's the same set piece that we just saw. You're going to look for Lang cutting off. Watch for on the backside.
There was that switch. Now looking, Key going baseline, looking for Ignashik inside. She misses, but it's fouled with 9 seconds on the clock.
And that is to a T what we talked about. Same set piece. You see Imhoff coming up. Ignashik is there. Then when the drive happens, Saylor has to come off, leaving Ignashik wide open. Don't foul in that situation, though.
So Ignashik at the line. Foul on Hamill. Big free throws here. And the first one gets a friendly Forester bounce in. Wow, hitting the front rim, bouncing in. Ignashik making it count.
So if you're the Foresters, 9.5 seconds, plenty of time, no need to get worried. Coach has another timeout.
Second free throw gonna be on its way. Force, like I said, Huntington really gonna have to box out. And there's the miss. Ball on the ground and gonna go to the Foresters. And a timeout from Coach Kohler as she will once again take a full timeout. Or excuse me, gonna take a 30-second timeout, but advance the ball up to half court, 60-59. Off of that miss, Huntington with the ball, 7 seconds on the clock, and a chance to win the game.
That is a close call because if you're the officials there, you have to weigh in the fact that you got 2 girls going for the ball, ball's dropping out of bounds. That's a split-second decision, but now the Foresters, you mentioned 7.7 seconds. This is one of those situations where I'm going to say, Logan, usually I say you want to leave about 5 seconds left. You want to take that shot just a little early, because if you miss, you want to have that putback opportunity. If you wait till the last second to shoot one shot, it's either in or it's out.
Once again, it comes down to who is going to take this final shot, and you got to think you want to go early rather than late for possible offensive putback. Have to crash the boards. It's usually not the first shot, it's the second shot that gets you. Inbound going to Reeker. 5 seconds, out to Saylor. Hand off to Fryman, she'll go baseline, has some space, blocked from behind, out of bounds, and it's gonna stay with Huntington.
A strong block. You got to talk about exceptional defense on the inside. On the other end, a foul call. That is a clean block. 0.9 seconds now. Force your ball into the bucket.
And the foul the timeout, gonna be called by Coach Culler. Just a tick under 1 second remaining. 0.9 on the clock. Once again, Indiana Wesleyan up by 1. Ball gonna be inbound from underneath the basket.
No, this is where it's hard.
Screen?
Exactly. I mean, I don't know what you got, because with 0.9, especially in a gym like this, I mean, you've got time to get a catch and shoot off. It's going to be close, but I think you've got time to get it off. Maybe you've got to get somebody cutting on the back door right underneath the bucket and just grab a little tip, throw it up underneath. I'll be honest, I don't know what you do here for the Foresters. I mean, you got a few good shooters inside and outside.
I think right here, we'll see who the inbounder is. I think you go back to Sarah Fryman.
Yeah, I agree.
You go right back to her. Hamill's going to be the inbounder, the freshman. A lot of confidence there. Once again, inside, looking. Hamill out to Crewood, lets it fly, and that's going to be well short. And the Wildcats come into Platt Arena and come away with a win over the Foresters, 60-59 on a well-defended set piece there at the end.
I mean, that is strong defense by the Wildcats. You saw that cut on the outside, didn't let Fryman get an easy shot off, made her drive, and a solid block. Really sealing the game for the Foresters, not able to get a final shot off, and just great defense all the way around in those last 7 seconds.
Big win there for Indiana Wesleyan, coming out with the win, had to battle back for it and get the 60-59 victory. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, like I said, we'd like to have you all join us for the men's side, where it'll be the Foresters and the Wildcats again squaring off inside Platt Arena. That'll do it for me, Logan Hine, as well as Bray Snyder. When we return, we're going to have the men's side for you in about 30 minutes.